Senator Sanders is right. There have been 40 years where corporations have bought this government, and those 40 years have meant a 40-year attack on the rights of working people and specifically on organized labor.
Of course you could make all this up, but why would you have to? Tom Steyer just stood there in front of a national audience and admitted that the corporations own the government.
There have been 40 years where corporations have bought this government.
Now you have all these political parasites standing up there on the debate stage saying that they want to be the CEO or president of this corporately controlled government while they're trying to punish corporations. It makes a whole lot of sense. Just believe us. We're from the government and we're here to help.
I was one of the first people on this stage to propose a wealth tax. I would undo every Republican tax cut.
What this president has done is that he has sucked up to dictators. He has made impulsive decisions that often his own team doesn't understand.
What he has done is wreck our ability to do foreign policy because nobody in the world will believe this pathological liar.
This president is caging kids on the border and effectively letting ISIS prisoners run free.
This president has betrayed American values,
turning the moral leadership of this country into a dumpster fire.
We have an erratic, crazy president.
I know. I say it all the time, but it's always good to get back to basics. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons the world is in the shape it's in, the shambles it's in, really, on many, many fronts, is because people tend to leave the basics. They don't want to stick with the basics. Well, the basics in politics is, matter of fact, it is now and it has always been, politics is the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into not only accepting, but also demanding the chains of their own enslavement.
Let's go over after these pharmaceutical companies for what they've been doing to destroy our country. They are nothing more than some high-level dope dealers.
Until we hold those responsible accountable for their actions, Purdue Pharma, Johnson & Johnson, we're going to continue to have this problem.
The people that should pay for this, that should pay for the treatment, are the very people that got people hooked and killed them in the first place. And that is the people that are manufacturing these opioids.
So when you have an Amy Klobuchar or a Bernie Sanders or an Elizabeth Warren or a Tulsi Gabbard or a Kamala Harris or a Cory Booker, who are these people? Where did they come from? What are their aspirations? We know what their aspirations are. When they stand on that debate stage, they're basically saying, I want to be the king of the world. They call him the leader of the free world. They all want to be the president of the United States. They want to be the policymaker, the chief policymaker. They want to be the commander in chief, the ruler of the free world. Can you imagine the cojones you get to have? Actually, their soul. Actually, it's not about having cojones. It's about being soulless. No soul, no moral compass. Who wants to be the leader of the free world? Who has that kind of thirst for power? And then to stand up on that debate stage and say, I don't care if it's Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard or Pete Buttigieg. It doesn't matter to me who it is. They're all standing up there saying, I am going to employ politics. I'm going to employ euphemisms to get what I want. I want to be the leader of the free world. I want to make the laws. I want to set the tone for the rest of the country and the world. Not just the leader of the free country, the leader of the free world. I want to be the leader of the world. King of the hill. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine the arrogance to stand on a debate stage saying that you want that position. And you're going to employ euphemisms to do it. You're going to employ lies to do it. You're going to put into action emotionalism to get what you want. And fear-mongering in order to dupe you and me into accepting and even demanding the chains of our own enslavement. That is exactly what is going on any debate stage, Republican or Democrat. Republican or Demoplican. It doesn't matter. They're two wings of the same bird of prey. And they employ those same political tactics because they have no moral compass. And basically, they're not going to be the leader of the free world. They're going to be the chief executive for the Title 28, Section 3002, 15A federal corporation, because they say in their own writings, in their own law books, the United States means federal corporation. They're going to become a corporate employee. And it's so funny to hear Bernie Sanders go, we're against corporations. We're against the pharmaceutical company. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You just become the head of the company. You become the CEO of the company. Look it up. Title 28, Section 3002, 15A literally says the United States means federal corporation. The United States is a federal corporation. This isn't the land of the free, home of the brave. This is the land of the fee, home of the slave. How many times did they say they were going to tax billionaires? We're going to tax the top 0.5% of the first 1%. 3 people own more wealth. 3 of the top people own more wealth than the bottom 50%. We got to tax them.
When you have 87 million people uninsured or underinsured, when you got hundreds of thousands of kids who cannot afford to go to college and millions struggling with the oppressive burden of student debt, and then you also have 3 people owning more wealth than the bottom half of American society, that is a moral and economic outrage. And the truth is, we cannot afford to continue this level of income and wealth inequality, and we cannot afford a billionaire class whose greed and corruption has been at war with the working families of this country for 45 years. So if you're asking me, do I think we should demand that the wealthy start paying, the wealthiest, top 0.1%, start paying their fair share of taxes so we can create a nation and a government that works for all of us? Yes, that's exactly what I believe.
Well, guess what? They didn't get to the position they're in without government. And now you want to be the leader of the government that's going to help them out. It's the Hegelian dialectic, guy. You can see in that debate, every time somebody opened their mouth, it doesn't matter who it was, Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, Bernie Sanders, it doesn't matter who opened their mouth. They were testifying to the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. Why did the corporations get this big? Why are they multi-billionaire and trillionaire conglomerates out there? You can't be a corporation without the blessing of the government. Corporations exist because of the government, and now you want to be the leader of the government to fix the problem of corporations when the government is what started that problem in the first place? Problem, reaction, solution. The government creates the problem, waits for the public's fear-based reaction, and then steps in to provide the pre-planned solution. It works the same way in any culture. And what they're trying to do on that debate stage is to get you to believe that government is somehow legitimate and government is going to solve your problems.
Senator Warren, I just want to say that I was surprised to hear that you did not agree with me that on this subject of what should be the rules around corporate responsibility for these big tech companies, when I called on Twitter to suspend Donald Trump's account, that you did not agree, and I would urge you to join me. Twitter should be held accountable and shut down that site. It is a matter of safety and corporate accountability.
Thank you. Senator Warren, you can respond.
So, look, I don't just want to push Donald Trump off Twitter. I want to push him out of the White House. That's our job.
Join me in saying that his Twitter account should be shut down.
No, let's figure out.
No?
That's the kind of power and control people like Kamala Harris want. And they want to do it in the name of safety.
It is a matter of safety.
We got to do it for safety. It's necessary. Well, guess what, Kamala? Necessity is the plea for every infringement of human freedoms. It's the argument of tyrants, and it's the creed of slaves.
Twitter should be held accountable and shut down that site. It is a matter of safety and corporate accountability.
Government can't solve the problem because government is the problem. And then you get all these mainstream corporate talking heads, these news geeks, these anchors getting up there. I think Bernie Sanders, he made a good show. It was a good showing. That's all it is a show. It's a dog and pony show. In this case, it's a donkey and elephant show. It's the Democrats versus the Republicrats. There is no difference. They're the two wings of the same bird of prey. I'll tell you what, Skippy, haven't we gotten this down by now? So they're standing up there on that debate stage, literally admitting that they're trying to deceive you into thinking that they have the answers to all your problems. And they don't. They're just going to become a part of a bigger problem. They will never talk about the Federal Reserve and getting rid of it. They'll talk about terrorism, but they won't talk about domestic terrorism. The biggest domestic terror cell on the planet is the IRS. You want to help Americans? Get the IRS off our backs. Thank you very much. Like Reagan said, the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help you, Schmitty. If you hear somebody say, I'm from the government, I'm here to help, close the door. Or walk fast or run in the opposite direction. Government is not here to help you. Government isn't here to solve your problems. Government is the problem. And think about it, guys. We want the government to help us with climate change. Oh my God, the world is going to be destroyed if government doesn't step in and help us with climate change. We only have 12 years left. We only have 11 years left. Oh yeah, what's the answer? What's the answer? We need government to step in and help us. Well, how can government help us? Government's going to help us save the people. How can government help us save the people when in the last 100 years alone, just in the last 100 years, people who trusted their governments, those governments turned around and slaughtered those people to the tune of 250 million in the last century alone. And we're not even talking about wars. We're excluding the wars. 250 million people have died at the hands of a government they trusted. And you're going to turn to the government to have them save you from climate change? Hey, you want to clean up the environment? I have a one-step solution. Get rid of government. They're the biggest carbon polluters and emitters this planet has ever known. So anyway, back to the Democrat debate, guys. I'm gonna cap this off with how I started it. Let's get back to the basics. Politics is nothing more and nothing less. If anybody tells you politics is anything other than what I'm about to say, I want to see the logic-based, truth-based proof. I want you to change my mind. Here's the statement. Politics is nothing more and nothing less than the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. Because government is nothing more and nothing less than slavery. The word is literally mind control. It comes from two Latin words, governo and mentis. Governo means to control or manipulate, and mentis means mind. To control or manipulate the mind, or mind control. That's what government is. Government is slavery. So when you want to be a part of government, you want to be everybody else's slave master. And when you vote for somebody in government, you're voting for a ruler for yourself and other people who may not have voted or supported your slave master. So basically, voting is nothing more, nothing less than the slave suggestion box. See all these euphemisms? Taxation is nothing more, nothing less than extortion. It's a racket. Just like war. It's not really war. War is just a euphemism for government-sanctioned mass murder. There's tons of euphemisms, and that's what politics is. It's layer upon layer of euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to get you and me to submit to the idea that government is legitimate when it's not. So that's my rant, guys. That's what the debates are all about, is just schmoozing and deceiving people. That's all politics is. That's all government is. And until we break free from that and realize who the real boogeyman is, thank you, Zionist international banking cartels, the controller of the petrodollar and narco-dollar Ponzi scheme, we're never going to get anywhere. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you haven't, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give them a thumbs up, share them with everybody you know. By giving this channel, this video a thumbs up and sharing it with everybody you know everywhere you can on social media, you help me and channels like this defeat YouTube's censorship and demonetization and suppression algorithms. I really appreciate you guys. Sign up to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com, and I will see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.
I think this is about our values as a country. Show me your budget, show me your tax plans, and we'll know what your values are.
Before you go, check out our new shirt designs in the shirt store. Here's the Beta Hates America design. Hell no, you're not taking my AR-15. And nobody needs an AR-15. Well, nobody needs a whiny little bitch either. And yet, here you are. And against all enemies, Democrat and Republican. There are over 90 other kick-ass designs in the store and the link's in the description. Your purchase supports the message of freedom on this channel. If you get something out of this content, help me beat YouTube's censorship algorithms by liking and sharing this video. And while you're here, why not watch a couple more of my videos? Until next time, stand firm, stay vigilant, and for the sake of all that is right and good, stop giving your rights away to tyrannical psychopaths who want to destroy this country.